A very good morning to all the students of 2nd standard A1, A2, B1 and B2. Welcome to my moral science class. Are you ready with your textbook? Yes. Today we are going to learn lesson number 14 and the topic for today is the walls came tumbling down. Remember this topic because the whole lesson is going to be on this. The walls came tumbling down. Before we begin our class, shall we have a word of prayer? All of you close your eyes and fold your hands. Let's pray. Kind and gracious Father in heaven, we thank thee, dear Lord, for the manifold blessings of life. Be with us as we are going to learn the story of Joshua. Dear Lord, be with us and bless us as we learn. Give them heavenly wisdom from above. Thank you once again for protection and love and care that thou hast showed upon us. We ask these few blessings in thy dear and most precious name. Amen. Okay, children, the memory verse for today's lesson is found on page number 48 and it is found in Hebrews, book of Hebrews, chapter 11 and verse 30. It says, by faith the walls of Jericho fell after the people had marched around them for 7 days. You have to remember, the people marched around the city of Jericho for 7 days. Shall we repeat the memory verse again? Okay. By faith, repeat along with me. By faith, the walls of Jericho fell after the people had marched around them for 7 days. Hebrews chapter 11 and verse 30. Okay, children, as I am going to explain the story to you, please have your textbook in your hand so that you can follow what is being taught. Okay, I am reading the lesson and explaining. Please listen carefully. Okay. Imagine after thinking and hoping and talking about going to the land of Canaan. Yes, the Lord had promised this people of Israel that He will lead them to the land of Canaan and there they are going to stay there and be very happy. Yes, and now after the death of Moses, who was the next leader? Yes, leader. Joshua was the leader for the people of Israel and he was leading all the Israelites to the land of Canaan, and now they had reached the land, and there the story says, what a happy day it was. Joshua decided to walk closer to the city of Jericho. Yes, I am going to explain to you what is city of Jericho. Yes, in this city, the speciality about this city of Jericho, it had tall and big buildings. The people were very rich and they were living there. The city of Jericho had very big gates, okay, so that no other people or no other village people or no other people can enter into their city. So they had big gates for their city, and around the city, around the whole city, there were very big walls built so that nobody can enter their city and disturb them. Look at the walls, very big walls. Nobody can easily break the walls. The walls of Jericho used to be so strong, and the people of Jericho are so proud to have these walls around the whole city so that no one can enter into their city. Remember these walls? The lesson says the walls came tumbling down, and we are going to learn about the walls of Jericho. City of Jericho. Look there, big tall buildings and big gates. What is going to happen? Let us read. Okay. He knew that God would help them take the city. It was God's will that He will give this city to the people of Israel and with the help of Joshua. Okay, but really he did not know how the Lord is going to help him to take the city. While he was praying, who we are talking about? Joshua. While Joshua was praying, he felt that someone was near him, next to him. He opened his eyes and saw a soldier. Okay, saw a soldier. You can see that picture on page number 45. He saw a soldier. Soldiers are someone with a sword in their hand, and he was just wondering what is happening. Okay, he saw a soldier. Follow me on page number 45. While he was praying, he felt that someone was near him. He opened his eyes and saw a soldier with a sword. Yes, with a long sword. If you see a soldier, see how the soldiers are dressed. Yes, they have a helmet and they have a shield in one hand and one sword in the other hand. And they will be always, the soldiers will be always ready to fight or go for war. And now let's see what happened. As he was praying, he heard somebody next to him. He opened his eyes and saw a soldier with a sword. He knew this visitor was from heaven. Okay, as soon as he saw him, he knew that this man was from heaven. Then the visitor told Joshua how he was to take the city. It was the soldier on page number 45, the visitor from heaven. He had explained to Joshua how he would help him to get the city of Jericho. Soldiers marched around Jericho in a long line. Look there, it says, follow me on page number 45. As soon as Joshua called all the people and explained to them how the Lord is going to help them to take the city of Jericho. And all of them, they believed Joshua because he was their leader. And they believed him that he would get the city for themselves. And he told soldiers, march towards Jericho in a long line. Trump, trump, trump. After they were marching, they marched 7 priests with the trumpets made of horn. What is this horn? Okay, horn is 2 horns will be there for a ram or a goat. Yes, the trumpets were made, big trumpets were made of big horns of ram. This is how it looks. Trumpet. Okay, they use this horns of ram as a trumpet to blow. They made a hole here and they blew. If you blow it, because it's hollow inside, it will give a big sound. Okay? So these are the trumpets made of the horns of a ram. And all the priests, the 7 priests with the trumpets made of ram's horn. These priests, they were 7 in number. Remember, the priests, I already told you, explained to you in the last lesson, the previous lesson, they are the people who work in the holy temple or church of God with the long, beautiful white robes. And there were 7 of them who were carrying the ark of the Lord. Okay, page number 46. It says, next came more priests dressed in beautiful white robes, carrying the ark of God's commandments. Behind the ark marched a big army of people. Thousands and thousands of people, they were marching and going around the city of Jericho. Imagine the whole city, and they have to cover the area. Such a big city, and they have to go around the city. marching along with that ark. Look at page number 46, how they marched, how the 7 priests carried the ark. Count them, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 priests carried the ark of God. Okay, and then what happens next? They went around the city one time and nothing happened. And you know what? Then they marched quietly back to the camp. One whole day it took to march around once, and they went back to their camp, and they were very tired. The ark was put back in its place in the tabernacle. The people of Jericho were afraid when they saw these people, all the soldiers and the priests marching around the city of Jericho. They were afraid, what is going to happen to our tall, big walls? And they came and looked at the walls. Has the wall shaken or fallen down? They were wondering what is going to happen. They checked their walls again and again. They looked at their gates. Oh, they seemed to be safe. Nothing had happened to the wall, neither the big gates. And they were happy. Yet they were afraid that what is going to happen? Why these people are marching around our city? The second day, Joshua lined up all the people. He told them, stand in line and march. Start marching quietly without making any noise, without fighting or without much noise. Walk around the city. The first day nothing happened. The second day also nothing happened. They went around the city once again. Again they went back to their camps. Nothing had happened to the walls and gates. But listen what happens next. Again the people of Israel, they cannot come into our city, they said. You know who? The people of Jericho. They said, these Israelites, they cannot come inside our city. We have big walls and very big gates. It is not at all possible for them to come to our city. And they were inside. The third day, the fourth day, the third day and the fourth day and the fifth day and the sixth day, the people marched once around the city of Jericho and nothing had happened. The third day, the fourth day and the fifth day, sixth day, the soldiers, the priests and the people marched around the city once. No one spoke. Then they went back to their camp. Still nothing had happened. And so the people of Jericho, they thought, oh, our walls and our gates are safe, nothing can happen now. But on the seventh day, listen carefully, but on the seventh day, it was a different sight of all the people marching around the city. Early in the morning, they lined up. First came the soldiers. Listen to the story, because exercises you can answer quickly if you listen to the story properly. Okay? But on the seventh day, it was different. Early in the morning, all lined up, and first came the soldiers. Who came first? Marching? The soldiers. Look at the soldier. Doesn't he look very strong? Yes. What does he have in his hand? Yes, in one hand a shield and in another hand a big long sword, ready for the war. But the soldiers, they did not fight. They quietly marched around the city. First came the soldiers, next came the priests. What did I tell you about the priests? Yes, the 7 priests. And next came many more priests and also thousands and thousands of people going around the city of Jericho. Next, what happens? Next, the 7 priests and the trumpets, with their trumpets. Next, the priests dressed in their beautiful robes, carrying the ark of God. Behind the ark marched the people, thousands of them. Joshua told the people, on this day, that is on the seventh day, what is going to happen? Already Joshua told them. He said, on this day you will march around the city, not one time, not two times, not three times, but 7 times. On the seventh day, the people of Israel had to march around the city of Jericho 7 times. Oh, that must be a very tiring task. Going around the city 7 times. Oh, and what is going on the 7th day? They marched around the city 7 times. Joshua told the people, when the priests blow the trumpets. Okay, who were blowing the trumpets? The priests. And Joshua told the people, when the priests blow this trumpet loudly, he told all the people, you must shout very loudly. And shout so loudly. Okay, the people did exactly what Joshua had told them. Around the city they went, and there was a big noise. Let's see what happened. Right then the priests blew the trumpets, and all the people shouted so loudly. And when they shouted, you know what happened? The earth was shaking. It shook. Okay, the earth shook, and the walls came tumbling down. Oh, on the 7th day, when they marched around the city 7 times, and the priests blew their trumpets, and all the people shouted very loudly, the earth shook, and these great walls of Jericho came tumbling down. They came tumbling down. That's what the lesson says. The walls came tumbling down. And this is how the walls of Jericho were destroyed. They were broken. Check on page number 47. How the people are shouting. How the priests are marching. Look there on page number 47. And how the walls fell down. Look there. And when the walls fell down, you can see the city inside. City of Jericho. Yes. Let us see what happens next. Yes. The walls fell down. The great gates were broken into pieces and they fell. And it says, fires started and soon the whole city was burning. What is that? Oh my. Oh, so sad. Miss, give me that yellow, no, please, miss. The whole city shook. And it says, the walls fell down, the gates fell down, and as soon as there was a big noise, the whole city was on fire. So sad. The whole city was on fire, and the fire was burning. The city was burning. Fire started, and soon the whole city was burning. Oh, so sad. And you know what happened next? Hurry to Rahab's house. Joshua said to the 2 spies, the 2 people, and they said, hurry, go to Rahab's house. Who was this Rahab? Rahab was a lady who helped these 2 spies to hide in her house. She had locked them inside their house and hid them. And the 2 men ran to take this Rahab and her family, because they believed in God. They trusted in God. To show that she believed in God, you know what she had done? She had told that in my house, in my window, look at the window. Okay? She had a window in her house where she tied a red cord. This is called a cord or like a ribbon, red cord, to show those people that I believe in God, I trust in God, save me and save my family. So all the people of Jericho had burnt along with that city. But Rahab, who was from city of Jericho, she was saved because she had tied a cord in her window to show that she believed in the living God. And she and her family, whom I'm talking about? I'm talking about Rahab. Rahab had tied a red cord in her window and she was saved and her family was saved from the destruction of Jericho. Although she lived in Jericho, nothing had happened to her because the two spies had saved Rahab and her family. And this is how we come to the end of the lesson 14. Children, when you hear these stories, when you repeat the memory verse, when you learn the exercises, you will understand the love of God, okay? How He protects us, how He cares for us, how He gives us whatever we need. And on page number 48, follow me on page number 48, it says, answer the questions. Let me see how many of you will remember these answers for these questions. How many times did the people walk around Jericho on the first 6 days? Day 1, day 2, day 3, and up to 6 days they walked only once around the city. And next question, how many times did they march around Jericho on the 7th day? Yes, on the 7th day the people marched around Jericho 7 times. On the 7th day, 7 times. And the last question is, what did the people do when the priests blew the trumpets? Yes, the people shouted very loudly. And the exercise on page number 48, let me see who can answer. Okay, use the word bank to fill in the blanks. Number 1, there were big dash around the city. Who can tell me? There were big walls. There were big walls. Look at the walls. Okay, there were big walls around the city of Jericho. Fill up number 2. First came some. First came some. Who can tell me? Yes, first came some soldiers. Look at the soldiers. Okay. Next came 7 priests with the. Next came 7 priests with the trumpets. Yes. Next came 7 priests with the trumpets. And the trumpets were made of what? Horns of rams. Okay. Horns of ram to blow. Okay. And big loud noise comes when they blow the trumpet. Fill up number 4. All the Israelites shouted very loudly. The fill up word is loudly. And last one. And the walls came tumbling down. And the walls of Jericho came tumbling down when the people of Israel had marched around the city of Jericho 7 times on the 7th day. This is how the Lord helped Joshua to get the city for himself. Okay, and now we come to the end of the class and hope you are following me and reading the lesson and learning the memory verse and learn the exercises. Dear children, our school is going to start by the grace of God. It is going to start very soon, hopefully. Okay, so you have to answer. You should know all the exercises. You should know the given memory verse. Bye bye. Take care until the next class, next Friday. Until then, take care of yourself. Have a good day.